Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sicilian Corner. My name is Mike, and Lou Blassie is behind the controls. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How we doing?
You know something, guy?
I must even have an answer for you.
With a week like this, weather-wise, my gosh, oh man, it's been wonderful. But I have to tell you, the Yellow Jackets.
Oh, they're out?
They're not happy. I don't know why, but they're super wicked aggressive. Sunday we were over up in Drake. We went to Grazie's, Barbara and I, and we wanted to sit outside. It was such a lovely day. You just couldn't. The bees were, they were all over you. I mean, that was awful. Yeah. And then you and I were talking.
They like the food too.
Well, I get it, but go someplace else. What are you bugging me for? You know what
I mean?
Nice
to the bees.
Yeah, I know they're important.
Not the Yellow Jackets. No, they're not important. We don't need them.
I don't understand those, and I don't understand hornets. Those two give me a case of agita.
No,
I'll be honest with you.
No redeeming qualities.
And then yesterday, I was telling you about the grand opening that Legacy Care had up in New Hampshire.
Yes.
And he had Dan Debicare had a terrific turnout for it. And from there, we went over to the Copper Door. And again, it was such a lovely, lovely day. I wanted to sit outside.
The Copper Door. Wow. Just haven't been there in forever.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I got used to it up in Bedford when they had they still do. That's where they started. But when they opened up on Route 28, they copied it right to that door cost $44,000.
Get out.
I swear, $44,000. And it's got a dent in it now on the bottom. I noticed it yesterday. But anyway, trying to sit outside with those stupid Yellow Jackets. All you do is swatting.
Yeah.
And that only aggravates them. Hey, listen, guess who we have with us today? A friend of yours from many, many years ago.
We go back, broadcast partners.
Absolutely. Everybody, I want to introduce a very dear friend of mine, someone who I've admired through the years. Dalia Diaz. She owns the Rumbo paper, and it's a pleasure. You're a breath of fresh air to have on with me. And I've been looking forward to this for I don't know how many weeks, because we booked this quite a way in advance.
2 months ago.
Oh, easy. I'm actually booked out now till November 23rd.
Holy cow! Wow.
Yeah, that's the way I like to do things.
That's why you and I get along so well. Well, Dalia, I said to you off the air, you reminded me a lot of my wife, because if Lucille thought about something, you were going to hear about it. And she would just come out and say it. And I look at you, and I've heard you chat, and I've seen your articles, and you're so similar in that aspect. It's scary. It's scary. And I think it's a wonderful.
Don't worry, Barbara, you're safe.
But anyway, that's one thing that I've always admired about you. And I think we crossed in relationships probably because of the feast, the Italian feast, the Feast of the Three Saints in Lawrence. I believe that was really the first time that I met you and Alberto. And I know he's listening. He's retired now, right?
Oh my God! Don't remind me. He doesn't want to do anything. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He said, "No, now I'm retired for good."
You got to keep
enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's he watch? The Hallmark movies?
He plays cards online.
All right.
Solitaire.
Online?
Yeah. Solitaire. Yeah.
And he passes the day doing that?
And taking care of 4 cats. He's very good to the cats.
Well,
and me,
he cooks. He's serving a purpose. But you know something? The coverage you gave us with your Rumbo newspaper for the feast, we couldn't ask for more. You guys have always been there supporting us. And, a 3-day feast, it takes a lot. You give up a whole weekend.
Yeah.
And I used to look for, I couldn't wait to get the paper, It was really good.
Well,
Dalia.
You notice that the week after, the front page of Rumbo was the best weekend of the year.
I'm glad you brought that up, because
It's,
the
it's
labor.
just a wonderful weekend
Absolutely.
to be here.
You know, you have the Italian. This was the 100th Feast of the Three Saints. The parish St. Anthony's. You had the Maharajan.
Yeah.
And then on Monday, if that wasn't enough,
Yeah.
you know,
It was a wonderful day. I was so glad that it didn't rain this year for them.
the weather. It
Yeah.
was hot though. Let me tell
It
you,
was hot.
I had to introduce a couple of shows, and one was on Sunday afternoon. And man,
Yeah.
we had the singer Tony Pace, who's
Yeah.
been on with us, and
It was muggy too. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
well, it's that, but the stage has different colors of aluminum foil,
Right.
and it has probably, I'm just gonna guess, say 96 bulbs. The heat comes out. So you got the sun coming down Common Street. You got the heat behind you.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you want to lose some weight.
I can imagine, yes.
Oh, let me tell you, sister.
Lawrence has a lot to offer.
You know, you're right. In Bread and Roses, I love, you know, this is probably the 38th, 39th year. I believe it's the 39th.
39.
39?
Yeah.
And I just love going back in time, and when people were coming to this country, I mean, you didn't get the benefits from the government like you do now. You either worked or you didn't eat. I mean, that's basically what it amounted to.
Any
Correct?
chance that we can go back to those days?
Girlfriend, you put up the paperwork and I'll sign it. I'll tell you, I think that there's just too much free stuff going on, and this country financially is not in good shape.
You know, I see, without getting into politics, because we're not here for that, but I see today's migrants coming into this country, and they just sit and wait for benefits to arrive.
Because that's how they're sold at. It's a promise that the streets, like they used to have representatives go to Italy and say, listen, we got all these mills. You got work waiting for you.
Exactly.
People thought the streets were lined in gold in Lawrence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
I came here in 1963.
I want to talk about that. Now, where were you born?
In Havana, Cuba.
Havana,
Uh-huh.
Cuba.
Yeah.
And we escaped on a boat, like so many that have been killed along the way.
This is 1963?
Yeah, we made it here. It was a group of 44 people
Okay.
in a small 27-footer.
Wow. Serious?
Just tried to fit 44 people in a 27-footer.
How long of...
Oh, that's a half a foot each. What do you want?
Yeah, how much room do you need? As long as you stand up.
No, we were not standing. We were just with my knees here and my heels up my...
You wore heels for this trip?
Not heels, not shoe heels.
You're a classy chick, boy. I'll tell you. Jesus.
And only with the dress we were wearing. No luggage, no food aboard.
Okay, so it was your mom, your father,
My stepfather,
your
and
stepfather.
my two sisters.
Oh, you have two sisters.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was the oldest. I was 16.
Sweet 16. How long did it take?
We were in the sea for 22 hours, and then we were rescued by the Hess Diesel, a 40,000 tons tanker. 2 years later, I saw that ship in East Boston.
No.
And I went and I took a picture of it because that was pure coincidence. But we stayed in Miami only 3 months. Miami was just Miami Beach, just a beach.
I remember.
And, yep. And no
Most
industry.
of it was swamp,
my
the
mother,
lower end.
my mother and my stepfather were working in Homestead
Okay.
in the tomato plantations.
Yeah.
And supposedly they were working $1.25 an hour. But
They had to pay for lodging, right?
no. They would come home every day to where we were living. And but the thing is that they had to work 14 hours a day instead of 8. And then they will adjust the time card to 8 hours at $1.25 per hour, supposedly. So they were being cheated.
Cheated.
It did, yeah. And when they realized that, they said, no, we can't stay here. And the Cuban Refugee Center gave us a one-way ticket to Boston. So we ended up in Chelsea. I was 16, and my mother and I started working in shelling shrimp on Atlantic Avenue,
I was
where
just going to
the
say.
where the aquarium is located
Yes.
today.
Yep.
There used to be all fishing boats arriving there,
Yep.
and in a shack,
Yeah.
we were shelling the shrimp. I'm very good at it.
No.
Oh yeah, I take off the legs, and at the same time, with a little knife in my hand, while I take off the legs, take off the strip on the top, the poo-poo.
Venom, yeah.
And
Wow.
I will never buy fresh shrimp anymore. I refuse to take out the poo-poo. And but I did that for a while, and the way we stunk on the subway,
Oh.
people would run away from us.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
No matter how much lemon you have on yourself.
But we had an apartment, a 5-room apartment in Chelsea. We were paying $90 a month, including the heat.
Yo.
Yeah.
I
So
know, right?
my stepfather, my mother, and I were working, and there was no welfare. The welfare at the time was controlled by the cities. It was from the city funds.
Oh, okay.
And then they made it a statewide. And that's when the corruption came in. Because while it was city funded, people would squeal on their neighbors. Oh, so-and-so is collecting welfare, but she has a boyfriend coming in at night. And they will take it off. Yeah, all of that I saw. So we didn't need it because there were 3 people working in my house. And there was no mass health.
No.
I remember when my brother was born.
You had to earn everything.
When my brother was born, my mother had to pay for the hospital bill, my mother and my stepfather, at Boston City Hospital. No, Boston Lying-in Hospital, and the old one.
Were you fluent in English when you came to this?
No, not at all. When we arrived.
Can you say that again? I want to hear it one more time. No, give me the no again.
No, we were not.
Yeah.
When we were rescued, they brought us into the Miami coast, and they took us to a hotel for a night. And the next morning, they did X-rays and tests and all that, and let us go with a parole. We were paroled into the country. And the Red Cross gave us a little bit of a dictionary. It was yellow and red, and a pocket dictionary. And that's what I use to find words and learn and communicate. We were the first Latino family. There was one Puerto Rican family that we never got to meet in Chelsea, and we were the first Cuban family to arrive. No media in Spanish, no newspapers, nothing. So I had no choice. We arrived May 19th in Chelsea,
Yeah.
and September I applied for a job at the American Millwright Rubber Company, packing soles.
Okay.
And the
Again, at least you're working.
And the requirement was to pass the interview in English, and I got the job.
Good for you.
And I got the job.
Without taking formal courses?
No.
You got that little book,
Uh-huh.
and you learned how. So if you can do it, everybody can do it.
It took me 24 years to get my bachelor's degree because I was taking one course at a time.
Okay.
And I was 50,
because you were working.
And I was 50 when I graduated, and I had 2 kids by that time. So it's all a matter of effort. You put the effort into it, and you get ahead.
Now, didn't I tell you folks that she's a breath of fresh air? No. How did you get into? First of all, I want to ask you. You said Chelsea, and Chelsea is kind of dear to me a little bit, because when as you know, I work for the Demoulas family, Market Basket now, and I had the Chelsea store, and that was our first venture into the Boston metro area. And of course, it was all union shops, and the unions were really giving us a hard time, especially the meat cutters union. and they would come in and, they'd set off stink bombs in the store.
Really?
We had to be careful with our cars. They had to have somebody out there watching our cars at night. I mean, it was really aggressive. And
why? What was the problem? You weren't union?
because we were not union.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that you'd be working your meat counter and you go to pick up a package and there'd be something from the union, like a little envelope, as like a something that was gonna tout being union, trying to get people to think about it at least. And speaking about unions, I'll just a quick story. I have a great deal of admiration for what Mike DeMoulas and his brother George both did, and to build the empire that they did. And when I went to work for them, we only had 6 stores. And Lucille and I just got married the year before. And when we were talking about the unions trying to pressure our guys about joining, because they were waiting for somebody to make a motion, to try and unionize the Muller supermarkets, I said it to Mike, and I said, there's a motion that these guys are really aggressive. I mean, they're trying to get some of our guys to vote union. And, Mike used to have a tendency, he was kind of nervous, potential energy, and his eyebrows really thick. Greeks have the real thick eyebrows. The one thing you didn't want to see happen is the eyebrows really start to flutter.
That was a sign.
Yeah, that was a sign. Be careful,
Tremors.
you don't tread here.
Yeah.
And he grabbed me by the arm and he says, if any of my employees decide that they're going to go union and we get forced into going union, I'll sell everything. That's how he felt. And to be honest with you, our guys, especially in the meat department, because that's what I did, our guys made as much during the course of a year as any union person working for, say, a union shop, Stop and Shop, or whatever the case might be. And they didn't have profit sharing. We did. They didn't have bonuses. We did. So anyway, that's the story about Mike. But were you in Chelsea during the fire?
Yes.
Oh, wow. That was awful.
I was standing on Everett Avenue under the bridge.
Everett Avenue, underneath the bridge. Yeah, I know it well.
Under the bridge, the Tobin Bridge, watching it expanding and expanding. And they say that they let it go because they wanted to burn down the entire area.
It was really seedy. It was back then. I mean, it was, but
I worked at one of those places, a rack shop. Also, I was 16, 17 also. A rag shop where they brought in rags.
Yeah.
And a machine with a blade going like this, just removing the buttons on the clothing.
And you don't suffer from carpal tunnel?
No, I didn't do it too long.
Hey, listen, I'm up against the break, but when we come back, I want to know how you decided to start Rumbo. I want to know if Rumbo is translated into any English word. All right? No, keep your thoughts. We're going to come back. Louis, why don't you take us to break?
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's Seaside Italian Kitchen and Pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites, and the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler.
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at 4 Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts.
Hope to see you soon.
Our guest this morning is Dalia Diaz from Rumbo and affiliated. always good for what?
Now I'm hungry
You're hungry now?
after watching
Yeah,
that.
welcome to my world. Yeah.
And let me tell you, that restaurant, I don't know if you've been there. It's at the 4 Oaks Country Club up in Drake, and that's where we were Sunday. That's where the bees were haunting us up there. But yeah, good restaurant. They do a nice job. Very, very good. I asked you about the name Rumbo, and I know there's a newspaper in the Texas area called the Rumbo newspaper. Does Rumbo stand for anything translated?
Rumbo only means course, direction. Which rumbo are you going? Which way are you going?
Okay, direction.
Direction. And that rumbo.
How appropriate.
And that rumbo, I met the editor because they gave an award to different media, national media, and a few years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and they started after we did.
Oh,
and
okay.
it became very confusing because I was getting mail that was addressed to them. So I think it has been a while now that I didn't get anything. So I think it has been straightened out that there are two rumbos.
Okay.
But we were both there. I don't know if they invited us for an award by mistake.
Okay.
But I did receive the letter and I went.
You know, you brought up awards.
It was in San Antonio where it was held.
Okay.
Yeah.
San Antonio. I love San Antonio.
Yeah.
You brought up awards. I mean, it wasn't probably maybe 6-7 years ago, I believe, that you and Alberto received quite a bit of recognition at a chamber meeting, at a chamber dinner. And I was very happy to see that. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's nice to be recognized by your peers. You know, you put a lot of hard effort into this, and you live it every day.
Yeah, and we have a good relationship with the
chamber.
From the very beginning. We've been now in operation for 27 years.
Oh, wow.
Since 1996, we started. And
well, I met you 25 years ago, so I was kind of at the beginning.
And you talk about my relationship with Lou. Lou even edited some videos that I did for Channel 27 at the time, before Telemundo existed.
Okay.
Yeah, don't say how many years.
That was in the early 90s.
You know what I don't understand? He doesn't have any gray hair. And, you know, he's getting up there, too.
You know damn well why I don't have any gray hair.
I had not seen him in a while, a few years now. And I was surprised when I saw him. I said, this guy looks younger every day.
Well, that's what I said the same thing to him.
Yeah.
It's because he's got influence at home.
Yeah.
He's got a positive influence at home.
Okay. Yeah.
And
those are the best.
Those are the best. You know, Lou, you you should try doing.
No.
Okay, honey, if
Not
you
that-
say so.
It's not that subtle.
not quite that
What
subtle.
coloring your hair? Okay.
All right. You know, there's a lot of controversy.
Alberto told me that I should let my hair grow white. And that was a good advice.
I like it. I like
It's
it.
so easy.
So easy. Easy peasy. You know, I wanted to bring up Nunzio DeMarco. Okay.
Oh, I'm so glad you did.
I always liked Nunzio. He was one of the nicer guys that I think I've ever come in contact with. And the man would come in here on a Sunday and he'd be in the studio sometimes 4 or 5 hours sometimes. John Savastano.
Yeah, with our buddy John. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the old crew.
Yeah.
I know.
And then you got into the
Yeah,
act, and the two of you together were outstanding.
Yep.
Because the both of you had one mission. And that one mission was what's best for the city of Lawrence.
Educate.
Educate.
Yep.
And assimilate.
Yeah. Nunzio was my mentor when he was the registrar at Northern Essex.
I remember.
He's the one that I went to see. Nunzio, I want to continue my education. when I was living in Chelsea, I went to Bunker Hill Community College.
Oh, sure.
And I took a few courses there, but I wanted to continue. And he told me what to do. He said, just enroll in anything. I said, yeah, but I need guidance. What should I? He said, you'll get the hang of it the moment that you're in touch here with other students and the teachers. You get to know who the teachers are, what they teach, and the recommendations from other students.
Sure.
And that was the best advice. Just get involved, head on. And I did.
How did you get into journalism?
Well, I had been writing for other newspapers. And,
okay.
And I had been producing television for 15 years for Channel 56.
Oh, pardon me.
I won an Emmy.
No.
Yes.
Can I have your autograph? You won an Emmy? Really?
Maybe.
I didn't know any of this.
So
what other secrets do you have?
I don't have secrets.
Yeah, you do.
I just don't talk about me.
All right. Well, you know something? Hey.
And so I got a taste, and I had a small newscast, 6 or 7 minutes on my TV show.
So that was the beginning.
So I said, people should know about these things. So I would broadcast them within the show. And I got a taste of it, and I wanted to pursue it. So I enrolled in Northern Essex with the intention of getting a journalism degree there, an associate's.
Okay.
And then go on to maybe Boston, because there are no other courses in journalism for bachelors. And they refused to give it to me.
Well, you showed
and
them.
They refused to give me credit for life experience for all my work, 15 years in television.
On-the-job training, they didn't want to acknowledge.
They gave me credit for no, they didn't even give me credit for Spanish. I don't know what they had against me. And so I quit, and I enrolled in Franklin Pierce College in Salem.
Yep.
And I got my bachelor's there.
Good for you.
Yeah. And I'm halfway through my master's. But
you're still going to school?
I stopped because it's just too much.
I mean, your schedule. I don't know how the heck. Yeah.
What do I need it for? I wanted for my own satisfaction to have a college degree. Okay, I got it.
Good for you.
And then what? Retired? Now I don't need anything. I'm going to be 77 in November.
A salute. You look wonderful. God bless you.
Thank you. I was waiting for that.
Well, I'm saying it the way you wrote it. I mean, that's what it says here. I don't know.
So, I was very, very angry at Northern Essex. So years later, the Boy Scouts gave me a recognition. I have a chair that they gave me engraved with my name.
Wow.
And nobody has sat on it, just me. I don't allow
Your
anybody.
tush is the only tush that's ever.
That's it.
That's it.
I don't allow anybody to sit on my chair.
Hey, you know,
that's sitting on my award.
Really?
So at that point, they wanted someone to speak for me. And who was better than my husband?
Absolutely.
So Alberto worked very hard preparing a speech, and I almost died on stage, sitting on my chair, listening to him. And the president, David Hartleb, the president of Northern Essex, was sitting in the audience, and he gave them hell. Alberto was beautiful.
Was he?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And he told the story, how they refused to give me credit for life experience, how
he went after him.
How I couldn't get
beautiful.
How I couldn't get the degree that I wanted, that I needed in order to succeed and get ahead in this field. And she left them and went to Franklin Pierce and got her bachelor's degree, and everybody applauded. I was sitting at the table with David Hartleb, and I was so embarrassed. But deep inside, I was so glad.
Yeah.
I can see that.
He did a great job.
In your opinion,
But we were talking about Nuncio.
yes, yeah,
We became a team on the radio.
very,
And-
very, very good.
And we imparted a lot of important information to the
I know.
public.
I know.
When we left here, we went to the coffee shop here on 110, and there were always a bunch of Italians there, and I became friends with all of them, and we had coffee, and it was like a brotherhood between us.
Yeah.
So
Nice man.
I don't know if you know that they dedicated a park at the end of Island Street.
See, I didn't know this. Okay.
Yes. And that park is now the Nuncio Di Marca Park.
See, I didn't see that.
But it wasn't easy.
I'm sure it wasn't.
Patricia and his kids and several people had to show up twice to the council meetings because Anna Levy, Council Levy, was the one who put her on the agenda.
On the agenda.
And I thank her very much because that was necessary to do. Some people in Lawrence Community Works were calling that park another name, a woman who worked at the experiment station for 10 years.
Really?
A woman who lived in Lowell, who only came to work here in the
Didn't live here.
1880s.
Oh, yeah.
In the 1880s. Nobody knows her. Nobody knows what she did. She lived in Lowell, and we have to recognize her because it was a woman working
Really?
in Lawrence. It didn't make any sense to us. So we went, and I think I was quite impassioned the way I presented my case that day, and they voted unanimously. And his son was there,
Yeah.
and
Tina.
another friend of his son's.
Yeah.
That kid made some of the councilors cry, and he cried while he was telling his story of why that park should be named after Nuncio.
I'm so happy to hear this because I did not know. I had no
I didn't
clue.
know either.
So
I had
I'm
no
not
clue.
taking the credit for it.
No, but
I'm telling you that the people that spoke for Nuncio were. It was very meaningful.
it was passionate.
Oh, very much.
Okay.
And I know some of the councilors came up to me and told me afterwards that when that friend of his son's spoke and cried as to what Nuncio meant to him, made them cry also. And now there is a sign in the parking lot that says parking only for visitors to Nuncio Di Marca Park. But we don't want just a parking sign. We want a big sign that says Nuncio Di Marca Park.
I'm sure there's going to be one shortly.
And there was a fight because they wanted to name it after that woman, but nobody had any relations to why.
There was no history to it. Right?
No. Well, Nuncio, as an educator, as a friend of Lawrence, as a friend of this community, more than deserve it. So we are going to insist now to the city council to, hey, get on the ball, put up a big sign.
Are we down the lower end going toward where the falls, like
That's right.
right
yeah.
there?
After you pass the SXR Center.
I didn't know there was a park there.
Oh, yeah. It's really nice. Yeah.
Man,
Oh, we're going to have a big party there.
no way.
Yeah.
Can I come?
Please.
All right. Oh, all right. You know, the city of Lawrence,
Mhm.
things improving?
In my judgment,
Yes.
impassionate, very much. Very much. At the beginning, I tell Nuncio, I tell Brian, the new mayor, that I didn't vote for him
Okay.
because I had my apprehensions, and I'm honest to him.
See, that's what I say. What you think is what you say, and I like that.
And in the primaries, there were other candidates. I voted for another candidate, not for him.
Okay.
And my biggest apprehension was that he doesn't speak English well. I said, how is he going to represent the city?
If you're going to
and
go
the
to
needs?
Boston and petition for something or trying to get more monies or
And-
whatever the case
and
might be,
that
I
was-
can see your point.
Yeah, that was my only reason. So he won the primaries. And then I didn't like the person that was running against him. that's the reason why I voted for him. And I told him that story face to face. And he said, I thank you. At least I know how you feel.
Exactly.
And in less than 2 years that he's been in office, we have seen a tremendous change.
I was just going to say, like, I was just looking, what is it, the Bay State Merchants Bank on Essex Street. They've made a fantastic, I mean, inside, that place is gorgeous. Beautiful banquet hall. I mean, that's...
And now the North Reading Bank on Union Street, Union and Canal.
Okay.
Across from 60 Island.
Okay.
Oh, it's a beautiful building there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
I mean, I love seeing the old mills being utilized.
and there is one more bank coming to Lawrence, and is a bank from the Dominican Republic to make it easier for people.
I love that.
To do transactions directly.
I wonder who interfaced on the behalf of the city of Lawrence to get them to come here, because that's a big step for a bank.
Well, the mayor travels to the Dominican Republic quite often.
Okay.
And
that's where he's from.
That is a big achievement. A lot of people don't like the idea that he travels too much to the Dominican Republic, but he does it on his own time, on his own cash. It doesn't cost the city anything. What do I care what he does in his time? And we are seeing results. In general, he has a vision, and everything that he touches is for good. Yesterday,
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah, yesterday I went to a wonderful event.
Okay.
You know the Adult Learning Center next to the Senior Center?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's going to become now the Nikki Jam, a house of music and art center. It's going to be converted pending approval of the council. Let me say that. He just made the proposal yesterday, and the councilors are very pleased with the idea. So I don't doubt that it's going to pass.
You have a good arts, crafts base. It's good for any city. I don't care what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I believe in that big time. And anytime you can enhance those two items.
But guess how he's doing it?
Are you going to tell me?
There is this kid that I had no idea who he was until Tuesday when I received the press release that they were going to make this change and dedicate it to Nicky Jam. He's a dancer and composer.
Okay, I didn't.
Reggaeton and that popular music.
I was just going to ask you, yeah.
That is not my style. And I
well, you and I are getting on, girl.
Give me Tony Page anytime. And so I had to educate myself, because I said, how are they going to dedicate it to this reggaeton singer? The kid was born and grew up in Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
He went to Puerto Rico, then to Colombia, became a big name.
Big name.
Every year he comes to Lawrence and takes a video in front of his house where he was living.
I love that.
And puts it on his social page. And then he became famous. He just came back from a tour in Europe. He did a video with Shakira. The guy has a big name.
Wow.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah, you're in.
If you worked with Shakira, I'm in.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know him?
I don't know him. I know Shakira.
Shakira.
Oh, Shakira. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Well, he sang with her. And he now has a foundation.
That's awesome.
And he's going to put up some money for the renovations of the building. He's going to guarantee every year funding for instruments for the kids. Wow. And every year he's going to donate.
See, I love
donate a scholarship for Berkeley.
Huge positive.
Yeah. He became big. He remembers where he's from.
Okay. You know what this means?
Yep.
Okay. Louis, take us out, baby.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's seaside Italian kitchen and pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Hi, this is Mike, and I would like to tell you about the Deborah Care Law Offices, a firm that is focused on estate planning, probate, trust administration, and elder law issues. You will feel comfortable discussing important issues concerning both you and your loved ones, as well as having the information you need to make an informed decision about your family's future. How do I know? Because I'm a client of Dan Deborah Care. If you want to have peace of mind knowing that your loved ones are protected, call Deborah Care Law Offices today. In Massachusetts, 978-686-4645. In New Hampshire, 603-894-4141.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
You're still hungry, right?
That is so good.
You know, next time you go in, we'll go for lunch there. Barbara doesn't live too far from there. She can meet us. Like I said, the food is, we're fortunate. We've got 4 restaurants that are sponsors. And those are the places that I use. And I'm fussy. I am a pain in the butt when it comes to going out to eat because I love to cook and I think I'm a pretty good cook. And so I always want something that's a little bit different than what I'm going to prepare at home.
I forgot to tell you one thing about that event yesterday.
Yeah.
That kid was a drug addict. He was in jail. He
could have went wrong so many ways.
He was one of the many that we see today.
Wow.
And he went the right way, and he's grateful to God and to the city where he was born.
That's a nice story.
It is a beautiful story, and people, watch Netflix. There is a beautiful documentary about his story.
No kidding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I used to educate myself about him. Yeah.
Uh,
Great success story.
I just wanted you to mention something about Lazarus House. What are your thoughts about the Lazarus
I
House?
love that place.
Do you really?
Yes. I love the way they operate. And I
Talk
don't
about helping.
I don't contribute the way I should because I just can't afford to contribute to too many organizations.
Tell me about it. I mean, you get to a point.
Everybody asks.
I put money aside for contributions in January, and usually, not even into November, I'm empty. And some people can understand it, some people can't. But something. Tell people how they can subscribe to your newspaper.
Oh, nothing. You can find it for free online.
Okay.
www.rumbonews.com. Yeah.
Okay. And it's printed
right there. Look at that. My column is always hot because, as you say, I tell it as it is.
Win or lose, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna hear it, right? I love that.
And I tried to
from
make
my
everything.
corner. From my corner.
Yeah.
See,
I tried to make everything bilingual, English and Spanish. Some articles, to save space, I may just do it in one language, depending on who the reader is supposed to be.
How many hours do you think you spend on your paper?
Oh God, 7 days a week, maybe 12 to 16 hours a day.
Honest to God.
Yeah.
Jeepers creepers.
I'm not exaggerating. And if the paper has to be out one day, like today, the 22nd, I probably will work through the night because I'm here.
Oh, yeah, I could have had you at it. How often do you do it?
Every week.
It is weekly now?
Yeah. It comes out on the 1st, 8th, 15th, and 22nd of the month.
It's a lot of work. So now you got Alberto taking care of the cats. What do you do? You need help?
And I should say, and he does the bookkeeping.
Oh,
yeah. He sends out the bills.
That. You didn't say that before.
Well,
I mean,
I don't want to give him too much credit.
Why? He deserves it. I like him.
No, he does the bookkeeping, sends out the bills, makes the deposits.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
And keeping track of people who owe money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Especially when they're friends of yours. That becomes a little bit tricky.
Who are the worst? Politicians.
I know.
No.
Yeah. That's hard to believe.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know something, this has been a pleasure, and I want to try and get you back on, but I don't want to do it when you have to go publish. So I'm going to look at the dates
Don't you worry about it. Rumbo will be late if necessary.
for the Sicilian Corner.
That's right.
Wow.
You know, you made me feel so good. You made me feel the way Nunzio used to make me feel.
Well, I take that as a compliment
Yes.
because you know something. You talk about somebody who is very proud to be Italian.
And Laurentian.
And a Laurentian.
Mhm.
Proud of his customs and traditions. It was that man. And, you know, I bang into his daughter, Tina, every once in a while.
Yes.
And, you know, she's just like the father. So that's a wonderful thing. In closing, is there anything you'd like to say to our listeners?
Oh, my God. Just read Rumbo.
Are you speechless? Get out of town. Get out. Louis.
Just read Rumbo.
Call Guinness.
It was a half a second.
Call,
It's fine.
Call Guinness World Records, for God's sakes.
It wasn't long.
I
No.
don't make me laugh. I don't want
Why?
to show wrinkles.
Oh, you know something? Put some extra weight on. The wrinkles get pulled down. You have more weight you carry, the less wrinkles you have. Right, Lou?
Yes.
Oh, what an advice.
Yeah, it's true. Manja. Hey, listen. Thank you, everybody, for
Oh.
joining us here on the Sicilian Corner. I hope you come back next Friday. We're going to have a very, very good show lined up for you. And once again, thank you.
I thank you.
And I mean that sincerely.
This has been delightful.
You're a breath of fresh air. Don't ever change. Don't ever
I
change.
doubt it at this age.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend.